What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Power Play with CJ. We're barely a week, actually less than a week, from the Chicago Blackhawks winning the Stanley Cup. 5 days away from the NHL draft kicking off, and the Blackhawks are going to start moving assets because of the cap. Their cap situation. We've talked about it ad nauseum. It's like a thing when Chicago wins championships. They got to trade players. I mean, you look back at when they traded away Bufflin and Andrew Ladd, guys like that after the 2010 run, 2013 trade away. Bolin and Frolik right off the bat, pretty much. And then this year, it's going to be a huge deal. I mean, obviously, Sharp, Verbeutty will be out of there. Again, Versteeg was traded back in 2010, too, so when a cup get traded, it's the reality situation. And actually, the irony of Versteeg is his cap hit for the Blackhawks is only $2.2 million. Florida's picking up the remaining part of it. But talking about Patrick Sharp right now, Sharpie's got a $4.5 million salary next year, $5.9 million cap hit. I say that because people saying one of the teams interested might be Phoenix, or Arizona, or Quebec, Seattle, where they're playing next year. Don't see that as a possibility. I think Chicago will do everything to move him out of the Western Conference. The Washington Capitals are interested in him at the deadline. Obviously, that was one of the things, And the thing with Sharp, I like is that he's versatile. He can play all three forward positions. If you need him on the right wing with Ovechkin, I think that could definitely work. If put him on the second line left wing, see what happens there. But definitely a possibility. Montreal, they're one of those teams. They have a window. Obviously, you got the best goalie in the world, one of the best defensemen in the world, and really underrated forward in Max Pacioretty. You got the nucleus in place. You factor in guys like Gallagher and Alex Galchenyuk, and it's like, wow, this team's really good. Adding Sharp to the mix would be very interesting. I think if you put him on the left wing and move Galchenyuk back over to center, that'd be interesting because Sharp's defensive awareness is pretty good. He's a veteran. Been around the block a lot, and can definitely do different things. Sharp to Florida makes sense again because Dale Talon loves trading for former Panthers, and getting another top six forward in the mix would be beneficial to the Panthers achieving their goal of returning to the playoffs next year. Their every decade playoff appearance, and again they got the cap, so it's something to keep an eye on. The sticking point on Sharp is, he's a great player. You look at his numbers over the years, really consistent threat. Going back to 2010 when the Blackhawks won the Cup, 66, 71, 69 points in 74 games in 2012. 20 points, 28 games of the lockout season, 78 points, and then 43 points in 68 games this past season. You get consistency. He's got 2 years left on his deal. He'll be 34 in December. So, again, he's got a lot of hockey left in him, but I just think the fact that they're asking supposedly for a first-round pick, an A-list prospect, and a top six forward on an entry-level deal, not happening for Sharp. Again, and you look at Sharp, he's making the same amount of money, more or less, as the aforementioned David Bolland. So, really good bargain, but not for that in terms of trade assets. You're not going to sell the farm for Patrick Sharp. It's just that simple. Chicago's going to come down to their asking price, and there's going to be a market for Sharp. But teams know that the Blackhawks have to move him. So, if I'm a GM, I'm telling Stan Bowman, look, don't dick around with me. What are we giving up? What do you want? You're not getting that. This is Patrick Sharp, not Jaromir Jagr circa 1995 we're talking about. That kind of assets for a guy like Sharp. And again, as good as he is as a player, you got to factor in the fact that he's going to be 34, and he's a good niche player. Not saying he couldn't do well anywhere else. I mean, I think he'd do great in any of the aforementioned locations, but just you got to look at the big picture here, and selling those many assets just for Patrick Sharp is laugh out loud hilarious. So we'll see what happens. Anyway. That's on episode of the Power Play with CJ. Stay tuned for episodes at the off season, and beyond. Later, guys.